double-edged, particularly for those people who are living in the inner suburbs, because the rates are based on the capital value of the land, and the land values are just going up. And the same thing is also happening with people who are actually looking for rental accommodation in the inner suburbs. Obviously, the landlords are, the land tax has gone up almost exponentially, and it's becoming very hard. So what remedy would be there? And in a way, we feel that we have been hit twice because we have paid the low stamp duty, or paid the high stamp duty, and now we'll be paying the low stamp duty, which we won't be buying again. So, thank you.
Well, that's a good question. There's a few points on that. Firstly, on average, Canberra households move every 7 years. So over a 20-year reform period, the benefits of the abolition of stamp duty will be there for people on a number of occasions. Recognise though that not everyone will move every 7 years. If you think if that's the average, then there are some people who have been paying large amounts of stamp duty more frequently than every 7 years. In relation to land tax, the point you made, we've reduced land tax on about 75% of properties with a particular focus on wanting to get more investment in affordable housing. Now, depending of course on the nature of that housing, the 3-year rolling average of the unimproved land value will depend a little on the relativities of that value between suburbs and between parts of suburbs. As a general rule, certainly more compact housing is getting the benefit of significant reductions in both land tax and rates, but that reflects a need for this city to make a gradual transition into more compact living in places closer to employment and to public transport routes, because there will come a point when the city's footprint can go no further. We have only about 20 to 25 years worth of greenfield land left to release. So the reason we're making these changes now and phasing them in over a 20-year period is to ensure that that transition is managed gradually and smoothly. So although I think it is unlikely I will still be Treasurer of the Territory in 2032, the person who sits in that role at that time, if no one had made a decision to change the system now, would be faced with a much more significant problem that would impact on their budget and on their capacity to provide housing. So difficult decisions can be delayed, but they don't go away. And the analogy I would give you there, and with Gary Humphries in the room, I think this is a very pertinent one, is that when Gary was Education Minister back in the early 90s, he tried to do the right thing and adjust the number of schools in the city to account for demographic change. Now, the Labor Party wasn't particularly good at that time, I think, in the public policy sense, and ran a campaign against that. The problem didn't go away, though. The size of the adjustment that had to occur in 2006 was even greater. So my key point here is you've got to tackle the long-term challenges. You've got to be brave. You've got to stand up to scare campaigns like we're getting in this election. But the right policy is the right thing to do, and I think Canberrans are smart enough to recognise the right policy, something that is introduced carefully in a measured way over 20 years to try and minimise as much as possible the distortions that taxation changes make to our economy and the circumstances that you've outlined. I recognise that for some it's important. It's important to acknowledge that they won't be moving. And they won't benefit from stamp duty cuts, but they will benefit from cuts to insurance duty, and they will also benefit from the capacity to provide increased services in the future. Because as our population ages, we know we will need to have more set aside to invest in our health system, because our community will need that investment.
And I think just one more question.